My name is John Pajarillaga. I am a therapist living in Jackson, Mississippi. I work with couples and individuals. I have four specialties. I do trauma work, addictions and recovery, identity issues, and relationship issues. I am a Filipino American, and I think it's a big part of, well, I lean into it. I tell the clients that I work with, look, I think we have different pillars to our identities, and we need to figure out what those different pillars are. And as a Filipino, that's definitely one of the main ones for me. And when I'm doing work with my clients, a lot of them, they haven't really explored that aspect of their lives, just their identities. And so in our work together, they end up doing more of that, and they get a better sense of who they are. Obviously, I don't tell them who they are. They explore and they figure it out, but it's pretty insightful for them. When I was growing up, I didn't have anyone to work through these things with. I'm in my late 30s, and it just wasn't a thing. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, predominantly white at the time, one of the suburbs that I lived in. And I couldn't explore these things with anybody. And even as an adult, like, who could I talk to about these things? My own parents, they don't have the skills to help me navigate this. And so, like, as a therapist, I figured that there are other people who have that experience. How do you navigate these things? Like, look, I'm an immigrant, and so I'm Filipino, but I've spent most of my life in America, and I can navigate, I have my feet in both worlds, East and West. And so I can see both points of views, and I've been able to navigate it for myself. And I imagine there's a lot of other people that need help with that. And so as a therapist, I'm very intentional about helping people figure that out. Acknowledge that you don't have that experience or you don't know, and then learn. Get the experience, have conversations with people, read books, go, go to neighborhoods or go to wherever, like to learn more about certain populations. Sometimes we lack humility. And so again, admitting when you don't know something goes a long way. And then once you realize you don't know, then take the time to learn. And that it will reap a lot of benefits. You'll be able to help a lot more people with it.